Yes, boss. See the topic and what it is that we're talking about, right? Don't let drugs and alcohol destroy your future. And shout out to my homie Flamers for this one, man. This one was actually supposed to get dropped a minute ago. So Flamers, my apologies, my guy. So here's the deal, right? So it's very common in the world that everybody has problems. Every single person has problems. I have problems. I'm pretty sure you have problems. People you work with have problems. But everybody deals with their problems a little bit differently. Some people, they have somebody that they can talk to. Some people, they keep things bottled in, which is not good to do that. Some people, they just don't have nowhere to run to. So they find some of the easiest ways that they can cope with what they're going through. Drugs and alcohol. So it could be anything. It could be you got a thing where whenever you go through some form of depression, you pop open a bottle of tequila. You have some people, like drugs is their outlet, like popping pills. Weed could be something you like. It could be anything, but all I'm here to tell you is this, bro. First and foremost, if you're going through something, I empathize with you. If it's something where you lost somebody close to you, you don't know how to go, how to handle it. You're still trying to find your way. You feel like life is on a downtrend for you. Whatever the case may be, light is at the end of the tunnel. If you believe it'll be there, and you have to work towards that, right? So here's the deal. Let's start off like this, right? So it's very common that people do have to find ways to deal with their problems. Some people even turn to alcohol and drugs because they're probably in an abusive situation. You get what I'm saying? Sort of like what I was in. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to be real with you. I'm not sitting here and saying, oh, it's hard, it's easy to get through that, because it's not. If you went through something traumatic in your life, or something that probably shaped your future, or shaped the way that you move through life, that's gonna change how you are as a person. And sometimes in life, some people can't find a way how to cope with it, so they try and find a temporary fix. Drugs and alcohol. Here's the deal. You leaning on drugs and alcohol and thinking of it like it's a kickstand, that kickstand that keeps you going, eventually it's just gonna keep burning you out and just sending you down in a spiral that you don't want to be. And I'm gonna tell you like this, whether you believe it or not, drugs and alcohol have cost people their life. It's cost them their future. It's cost them to lose things that probably were precious to them. Example, there's some people who've developed the alcohol problem to where it's cost them their spouse. It's cost them their friends. It cost them their livelihood. Because why? That temporary fix is something that you look at as, it's just a band-aid for the problems. Guess what? It can create more problems in your life than you probably never intended to have it that way, but that's just how the game goes. So here's the deal, right? Let's go a little bit deeper into the subject with drugs and alcohol, right? When you really think about it, whatever problem you're going through, let's say you lost somebody close to you, right? Or it could be friend, parent, brother, whatever, right? And you don't know what to run to, you don't know where to go to. So you feel like turning towards substances is the easiest way. Completely fine if that's the way you look at it. But think of it like this, right? In a state of you being in a place of happiness, you can use that and be like, you know what, I'm happy, I'm off, or I'm celebrating, let me have a drink. Think about it. The emotions that you inhabit or how you feel at that time, that can roller coaster you to do a little bit more, or it can take you to where it's like, you know what, I'm going to go on a serious decline. Example, how many times have you seen somebody celebrate, like, let's say they graduated school, let me pop a bottle, let me bust open a cigar, whatever, right? Versus when you see somebody's actually like depressed, they really sit there and let the alcohol or whatever substance they're into really take hold of them. I'll give you an example. I got a homie of mine, right? One of his cousins, well, this is my homie, it's his cousin, basically, like, they have a grandmother, right? Everybody call her Granny, right? I known her, Granny was a sweet lady, right? When Granny passed away, I seen the effects of what it caused. At her, basically, like, call it like a repast where everybody gathered, they had the funeral or whatever there. You get what I'm saying? I seen one of her like supposedly grandkids like sitting there just drinking all night, drinking to the point where it's like he passed out. You get what I'm saying? And you can tell that the depression that he was facing, it was something serious. And you got to understand this, right? Whatever it is that you're using to cope with whatever you're going through, understand the severity of it and what you're doing to yourself. I'm not saying you're intentionally trying to hurt yourself. You're relying on how whatever it is makes you feel at the time, but just understand that that's not the way out. You get what I'm saying? There's other ways that you can beat whatever it is that you're going through. Find something it is that you like. You get what I'm saying? It could be a hobby. It could be you thinking, yo, man, I always wanted to do skydiving. Go try it. Go try something different. It's something that you feel like will get your mind off of it. Or even do something that you know that you love, that's comfortable. It takes your mind off of something. You finding something new to do, it will take your mind off of it, right? Give you an example into that, being YouTube. Mind you, as I stated, despite all of what I went through with my mom and the abuse that she put me through, certain people I thought were my friends, like the traumatic things that I went through, and I literally was sitting there like, I used to contemplate suicide. Thank God that's not me anymore. But I used to beg and plead and ask God to give me something that I know that I'd appreciate. And that's why I feel like it's YouTube. Me doing videos on YouTube is like a drug for me. It's a high. Because I get a chance to share with other people how I feel or the thoughts that I have inside of my head, and use it as a way to help somebody else who's going through their problems in life. You get what I'm saying? Because let's be realistic. In this world we live in, how many people do you feel like you can count on your hand that you could be like, oh, I could call this person and talk to them, or talk to this people? Sometimes a listening ear becomes a person that who will run off and tell your business. Some people won't understand. Some people you deem as your friend, they'll probably understand you. They probably won't. So that's why some people turn to these substances. Cool, I understand that. But just understand that in life, whatever you want, or if you're fighting for a better situation, push for it. Try something different. Mind you, I wanted to do YouTube for years, bro. Years. But I wanted to do it in a way where it was more so meaningful and impactful, rather than something that's overnight or that could be thrown away or swept underneath the rug easily. You get what I'm saying? So I felt like me telling like my life stories and sharing life advice that can help people was something that I really needed. And I really prayed for that. Not saying, oh, you keep praying and you're going to get something. You have to fight for it as well. You get what I'm saying? Faith without work is dead. You wanting something new in your life, or you wanting to get over a certain situation or a certain feeling, you have to fight for that. You get what I'm saying? You have to fight for a new day. You have to fight for a new situation. All I'm saying is, do not sit there and be complacent to how life has made you feel, or the battles or the circumstances that you're facing. You may feel like it's an uphill battle, like I'm never going to see light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me, there's little things that you've probably went through or that you've seen along the way that gives you the ability of knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. You get what I'm saying? Where there may be the few friends you have, a TV show that you like, somebody that you admire. I'm going to give you another example who helped bring me out of my depression. There's a Jamaican comedian, one of my favorite comedians of all time. His name is Major Hype, right? Major Hype is like hands down like top comedian in Jamaica, like Jamaican comedy of all time, bro. And he's one of the biggest reasons as to why I have like a better stint with like my depressions or certain things I go through. Because why? The comedy skits he puts out, it's real realistic. It's tailored to fit people who are from the islands. You were raised in the islands. You have dealings like that. You understand. And the thing about it that I learned in the midst of it is when I'm laughing, I forget about all of my problems. And that's another thing I'm going to tell you. Make sure you know yourself. What is it that's going to bring you out of that state of depression? That's going to bring you to a higher place, or bring you out of that state of stagnation as to where you can feel like you can move again. There's got to be something, whether it's sports, a favorite football player, a favorite basketball player, a favorite comedian. This is why entertainment is what it is. It can entertain you and bring you out of whatever it is that you're in. You're tired from work? Guess what? You could pop on a show that you probably like and that takes away all of your stresses. Or you can listen to some music and that can take your mind away. You get what I'm saying? This is the part about entertainment that's so beautiful. You get what I'm saying? Another thing into that, right? Besides finding an outlet and picking a new hobby, you have to understand that you have to venture out and try something new. You reverting back to the old or the norm of what you're used to, that's you choosing to conform to your circumstances and the pain that you're going through. So you have to understand, is it worth me staying in this predicament, or is it worth me trying to fight for a new day or fight for something new so I can be in a better state mentally? You get what I'm saying? Because mental health is something that's very serious. It's on the rise on the daily, and it's affecting a lot of people, especially black men. You get what I'm saying? So whatever it is that you're going through, just remember this. It's light at the end of the tunnel if you believe that. You get what I'm saying? You have to fight for a new day. If you really want something, there's something that can bring you out of that state of depression that you're in, that can bring you to a higher place as to where you don't have to rely on substances. Next into that, right? Example, what you went through. What I went through is what Kevin. Oh, shoot. Yeah. All right. So here's the deal, right? Let's say you going through something traumatic, like let's say abuse, or let's say a toxic environment, or you losing someone who was a loved one. Whatever the case may be, understand this, right? There's ways that you can offset that. If you lost somebody, what do you have to rely on? It may suck, but you have memories with that person. You get what I'm saying? The memories are that's all really you have to hold on to, versus you staying in a state of sadness and depression. You feel me? You having memories that you can cherish is way better than you not having any form of a memory at all. You get what I'm saying? Compared to you staying in that situation and staying stuck and staying stagnant. As I stated before, when my father passed away, I felt like life was pretty much over after that. Like, it's no real purpose. You feel me? It's no purpose in me wanting to do certain things or further or venture out or whatever the case may be. Until I had to push myself to understand that I cannot stay in this same position, because I'm going to stay in a state of what? Depression. And it's not going to be good for me. You feel me? So whatever it is that you've gone through, whether it's loved one, friend, whatever it is, there is something that you can rely on or go to that's going to bring you out of that state of depression. You feel me? Whether it's you going and hanging out with a couple friends, or going to the skate park, or you going to the library, whatever it is that you like to do, there's something that'll happen or come along for you that's going to change your situation. You might even be introduced to something new, a new form of an activity that can take your mind off of it, right? As well as that, you could even join a support group. You could go and join a group, like example, let's say you are in an abusive situation. You could go and join a support group for people who are abused. Yo, I deal with depression, I abuse alcohol and drugs. Go join a support group that deals with that. Because when you're in a situation and you feel like you're in it by yourself, that's what can help keep you there a little bit longer, as opposed to you joining or being a part of something that's bigger than you, and you getting to share and understand from other people and their aspects how they handle and deal with their problems. Versus, once again, as I stated, you keeping everything bottled up on the inside, which isn't good for you at all. Now, lastly, remember this about drugs and alcohol. It's a temporary fix for your problems. So remember this. No matter how much you feel like, yo, I could keep going back to the store and buying the same bottle, or I could still keep going back and popping pills, you have to understand that in life you have to have what? Limits. If you don't have no limits, your depression, what you fall in love with, these habits, it can take you off the deep end. There's some people who've been through some traumatic things, and like as I stated earlier in the video, drugs, alcohol, different substances, it became a form of a kickstand for them, where it keeps them going through the day. It keeps them up. It keeps them alive. It keeps them wanting more. It keeps them coming back. And they're not even realizing that, yo, you have the power to control all this stuff. You have the power to say, you know what, no more weed, or no more drinking, or no more of that. I could take a lot of lessons from this video. You get what I'm saying? I have my own problems. I'm not perfect. But at the same time, just understand this. Don't let the problems or the things that you've gone through be bigger than who you are. You're bigger than your problems. God is bigger than all of our problems. If you really look for it and you try hard enough, you can fight and change your situation. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, remember this. Words can help you. They can hurt you. But here on my channel, I going to uplift you, because everybody's a champion. Nobody's a loser, man. Here's the deal. Understand that in life, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. But try your hardest to find a new outlet. Try your hardest to find something new that'll take your mind off of the pain, whatever it is that you went through, so it can bring you to a new destination. You get what I'm saying? 440 for the world, man. Peace.